Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? Well, it's a little bit of an overcast and rainy day here on the farm. It's been sprinkling, but nothing major. But it's definitely cooler. It was like this yesterday too, so I was able to work on the shop house here without too much, pain from the sunshine blaring on me. One of the things, I was just looking at the fish here in the pond. That's why I put that window right here. This is going to be a nice little sitting place. But I also went out and about and bought a few things for the kitchen that I'm going to build here. And I think in the previous video I showed you I made good headway on the restroom, on the bathroom. I'm gonna sit down here. Oh my gosh. And but I was like up all night looking at videos and stuff and trying to decide if I should do this or that. But one of the things I was contemplating was moving my toilet. And if you can see from the video, the toilet that I put in is kind of far from the wall right there. And you don't want to lean way over there to grab toilet paper, right? So, but that was on the existing hole, right? That was from, really earlier videos. You can see this place had a squat toilet. The room was only half the size. It was about to right here. It had a squat toilet there. And so I used that existing pipe that goes back to the sewer. And but in hindsight, I probably should have cut a new path and moved the whole thing over here before I created the flange and all that. So that was because of the sink. The sink would be better positioned over here maybe, so I could have if I wanted to put a future glass wall or something in the shower area. I don't know, going through the motions. But I figured, end of the day, I'm not going to do it. I'd have to, I built the cement beam with the rebar and all that that goes across the whole, house. That thing is a good 6 inches wide, and right here it's probably about 8 inches deep with rebar, and I'm not going to drill through that for that 3-inch pipe. And if I had to go down underneath it, I'd probably have to go about 15 inches down through all the concrete here on the foundation plus the sand, and then enter the pipe into the new pipe into the sewer, which would be at a much lower level than the existing one into the sewer, which means that the sewer would fill up, the septic would fill up quicker, and then maybe even backflow. Just not worth the effort. I'll just put I'll have a shelf here, and then I'll put maybe one of those heavy brass stands that have the toilet paper in it, and that'll be fine. I built a floating cement table here. I put the whole molds for the sink because I have the tabletop basin sink that'll sit right there. And anyway, I'll remove all that stuff. I figured, in the end of the day, once it's all done, it'll look fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just got to keep telling myself that. I did buy a nice teak wood door. This is actually door for the outside of the bathroom. I got the solid teak for the outside because pretty much rain and weather and all that stuff doesn't really affect these too much. It doesn't warp. It can get rained on. It'll be fine for about 30 years probably. Longer. This door will probably last longer than this building will. But that's for the outside. I haven't bought the inside door yet. I don't know why, but in the kitchen, brought the brick sinks. It was raining, so I figured if I'm going to work on this today, I want to be able to, have dry bricks. But the countertop will go there. I did buy the sink, the burners, and the cabinet doors for the counter placement. It shouldn't be too difficult to do that, but I do want to get her done. You know what I mean? Also, the tile for the front of the porch here area is all pretty much finished. Got all that done with the help of my neighbor's brother too. He's got good eyes for lines. There's a little bit needs to be done. I got the front, maybe on the side here, and then this portion here will need to finish. I'm not gonna put tile on the sides. I'm gonna keep that as the same gray as the other side of the building. Did manage to also get the paneling up underneath the porch, same as the facade for the side. So that's done. We'll keep this as it is, tin. And but yeah, also put this, the cement board here to cover that gap in the opening behind the metal bar. There's also a metal bar there, and I'll put another one of these same ones, and it'll strip along the front here, seal that gap, and that'll all work out. The form board out there is what I'm going to use for my cabinet mastery. Couldn't sleep last night too much. I don't know why, but typical. And so I was watching people build cabinets all night. Couple sprinkles. Meh. Nothing major. I heard it was raining in Bangkok or something yesterday, but no worries. On that tile, I wanted to get the tile done before it rained, which we managed to do, so that's good. I didn't want to have to try and do tile in the rain. I was previously during the rainy season. I still had to work over there, so I got rained on a lot, and that was a bummer. But I'm gonna sit down here. Oh yeah! Whoa, cat! Cat just bolted over here. What are you doing, man? Huh? Hey. No. Here, check this out. You see these? I bought these. It was on the roadside. That is a planter made from old car tires. Actually, probably truck tire. But the middle part of it is actually made from motorcycle tires. So the motorcycle tires are weaved in there. This thing's pretty heavy duty, man. It's actually quite heavy too. I bought a little one as well to make that go together. That was like 140 baht, so that's like what, less than $5. So pretty good. That's one of the things I like about the village life, whatever, is that you can see all kinds of stuff on the sides of the road. People selling stuff. I mean, this guy was just a small little house. He also was selling, he had it set up in the front counter, kind of put a little bamboo counter there where he was selling coffee, instant coffee, kind of just mix, But selling a little coffee, and then he does a little art stuff with some recycles, makes a little extra cash. Pretty cool. Glad I could help him out and buy that stuff. They said they would make them for me if I wanted more, or in different colors or something like that. One thing I noticed here in Thailand, paint seems to be expensive. Like, when I say expensive, I mean it seems to be, about the same price as Home Depot in America, or maybe even a little more. I'd buy a 5-gallon bucket of white paint in Home Depot, just plain white flat paint. You know, you use to paint over drywall. I think it cost me like 120 bucks. So that's like 30 or 4,000 baht maybe. And a small bucket, not a gallon, but it's a little more than that. That small bucket of paint over there is like 2,600 baht. So I don't know, it could be actually more if I had to do a 5-gallon. It might come out to be 5,000 baht or something. I don't know why, but I do know that I don't need too much more paint. I'd still have a little bit of white paint left, and I'm gonna use touch up once I'm done with everything. I want to get the kitchen counters finished because, you know, the door guy for the kitchen, I want him in here, and then I got to also start on the doors. But I'm just glad that the porch tile is finished. I didn't use any grout in the porch floor tile. I didn't want to subject the grout to, you know, weathering and sand and all that stuff. So I really just, you know, made the top layer of the mortar a little bit more wet, so when the tile was butt up against each other, that it was, you know, it seeped in just a little bit. I'll probably buy a gallon of sealer, like waterproof sealer, and roll it over the top of everything, so, you know, it can get in a little bit more on the cracks. But I think it's gonna be fine. Not gonna have any problems with water or whatever. And it looks a lot better. I think it looks better. But when you're doing that without grout and those spacers, you really need to watch your lines. And that was one of the challenges doing that, was because I had 13 boxes of tile initially, and 3 or 4 of the boxes, the actual tile was not the same size as the other tile. So the lines were going to be all screwed up. So I decided to put that tile to the side and use that for like the cut tile around the outside and the stairs and the front drop down. And I went and bought, initially I went and bought 2 more boxes of tile, but that wasn't enough. I actually wound up buying 3 more boxes of tile. And so that's a total of, I think it was a total of like, what's that, 16 boxes, no, 18 boxes of tile. There's 6 pieces in each one for that porch. But it's only like what is it, 160 baht a box or something like that. So tile is actually pretty cheap, ceramic tile. Yeah, definitely pretty cheap. Well, what else? What are you guys doing today? Me, I'm retired. I didn't really just retire, you know, from work in America. I retired from a way of life. The way of life, or at least for the last, you know, 7-8 years that I lived in America. Before that, I didn't live there, right? So that last bit of time in America, you know, that was to me anyway, that was no way to live. I mean, yeah, America's beautiful. It's got a million national parks and everything, and if all I had to do was travel around and go look at stuff, then I would be fine. It would be happy and content. But you know, you can't do that. And some people can, but you know, I had to do work and had to deal with all the regulations when I was building stuff. I always had to deal with, you know, laws, crazy prices. I mean, you know, one of the things I noticed, which really annoyed me, was your car insurance. You know, initially
you get a brand new car, you're going to have insurance by law, of course. If you get a used car, you can have liability only. But if you get a new car, it has to be like full coverage, so it's more expensive, which is fine. But if you get like let's say it's your coverage is like $1,000 a year or whatever, which isn't too terribly bad, but it still sucks. You get one ticket, your insurance easily doubles. I think I added $1,500 to my insurance because of one speeding ticket. I raced off to lunch to get lunch during school on my lunch break, and then I was racing back, and the guy caught me. I was only the ticket was like for 72 and a 55 or something, but and just within 2 months my insurance had to be renewed, and so when it was renewed they go, "Oh, you got a speeding ticket," and now it was like $1,500 extra. It's like, what the hell? And then I think a few months later I happened to get another one, not a speeding ticket. I got a camera ticket where it was a Sunday morning. I was driving literally 30 miles an hour, doing nothing on my way to the beach. Nobody on the road, and the red light was coming, but I didn't brake because I could have just stopped, but I just rolled through what I figured was about a yellow. Absolutely, I could see everywhere. There was no traffic, no cars, and I whatever. I think I got through the intersection before it turned red, but I was just drinking coffee while I was driving. I could have gunned it and all that, but I didn't. And then I got a ticket in the mail saying that I ran a red light. That's a moving violation. So that was like another $1,500. And I got a letter from the state, because I got those 2 moving violations within 6 months or whatever. I got a letter from the state that said, "You're a danger to the highway. You're one of the most horrible people on the road." What? I was tempted to post that picture on the internet, I swear to God, or that letter, because I was so shocked at the language of the letter. I was like, unbelievable. But then, I forget how long it is. It's like 2 or 3 years, and then it goes off. So I had waited, of course, obviously I didn't get any more tickets, and then it goes off your record, or goes off your insurance calculation, so that it doesn't count against you and your rates can go down. But one of them, I remember I had to fight to get it recalculated, because I didn't do that, man. I knew the timing. I go, "Hey, you guys, it's been the year, whatever was the cutoff date." I go, I shouldn't be being penalized for that ticket because it's out of it's out of the window. And they were like, "Well, no, you're gonna have to get." I had to go to the courthouse to get a record or get the ticket signed off or something. I forget what it was, but I had to go to there twice in order to prove to the insurance company that it was a done deal, way back when. Which the courthouse was or the police house. I think it was actually at where the police station was. It was like, "Well, this is several years old." I go, "Yeah, well, maybe you guys should talk to your insurance companies." But I just know that it's just very, very aggravating. And the speeding part, yeah, I was way out in the back end of the desert farmland for where there are date palms and stuff. Long straight road, no tractors or nothing. Nobody on that road either, except a police officer. Probably because he knows that people go flying down those those back roads of the farms or whatever. Mostly probably ticketing farmers who barely make any money, for sure. But yeah, that was a nightmare. Those kinds of things are part of the reasons why I'm happy to have left that way of life or retired from that way of life. Just out of control regulation and fees. It makes absolutely no sense at all to penalize people in that fashion. And matter of fact, my insurance company, even though I had those removed and all that, I remember for some reason the insurance company said I still had to wait, even though the window was closed. I thought, well, hey, I should be able to get a reduction in my insurance fees because I no longer, am that driver or whatever. And they say, oh, you have to wait until the next cycle. So I go, you're going to tell me that I have to pay for it was like 8 months or something. I have to pay for like 8 more months at a higher rate, even though right now I'm subject to a much lower rate, which would have meant thousands of dollars. And they're like, well, yeah, trying to, butter it up or whatever, but no. So I canceled that policy. And then, but first I called another insurance company, competitor, of course, and I shared with them what the deal was. I said, they will not readjust my rate because of the reduction in points that I have. So because they charge you based on your points, but then they're going to keep charging you even if your points went down. And so that the insurance company says, yeah, we don't do that. If your circumstance changes, then we'll change the rate. So I went with the other insurance company, and I saved myself a couple $1,000. So I promptly took a trip and went camping or something. I don't know. But camping fees are another fee that's kind of crazy, man. I mean, I could stay at a 5-star hotel or a campground. National parks are, I think it was, the smaller ones were like about $85 a night, and some of the other ones were maybe even 100, and which is crazy. But the campgrounds get packed, right? So I don't know. There's so much. I hope that that kind of progress doesn't come to Thailand during my lifetime, anyway. If it does, I'll probably have to seek out other places or another country where I don't have to deal with that. Anyway, don't get me started on this topic. I'm just glad that I retired from that way of life, and now in Thailand there's certainly new challenges, and some things are expensive and this and that, but by far, if I had to list them all, way easier here to live, to get along, and to get around, I suppose, regulation and all that stuff, than it would ever be in Thailand. I have access to everything that I need. Hell, I just took delivery of groceries from Villa Market, which is, they have kind of a lot of European and Western food there. So I ordered a bunch of stuff online again, and I ordered it from the Bangkok store. And that's 4.5 hours from here, man. They'll drive a refrigerated truck with steaks and all this, anything I ordered, 4.5 hours up here to deliver that stuff, which is basically the next day, and it costs about $3 for that delivery. It costs you $13 to deliver something from Amazon in America. Yeah. So, and I don't think that'll change anytime soon. There's so many delivery companies out here on motorcycle and refrigerator truck and small truck, and really doing I think a good service for everybody. And for me, I'm usually always eating Thai food and everything, but you know, sometimes I want an American brand of something, and if it's at Villa Market, well, boom, I just go online and boom, click. There's no minimum order. I suppose I could order something that costs 50 baht as long as I was willing to pay the 100 baht delivery charge or whatever. So, yeah, kind of weird. Well, if you've been watching the video until this point, thanks for watching. And keep watching, because I'm about to eat breakfast. So, we'll get back at you.